Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will talk about the top 10 beautiful natural wonders that no longer exist. So make sure to watch the full video. Our visual panoramas of our countries and territories, terrains and vistas shape our sense of belonging. Yet the world is always transforming. Tectonic activity, air currents, moisture, heat, and people all work together to reshape what we accept as familiar terrain, stripping away immense ravines, creating new land with steaming molten rock, and moving the paths of great river systems. Large numbers of famous attractions all around the world have dramatically changed shape, or worse, vanished. Over the last 5 decades, the famous Darwin's Arch in the Galapagos Islands disintegrated into the ocean in 2021, joining a multitude of other natural wonders that have been lost to time. Serving as a reminder that our world is constantly changing, here are a few of the world's natural wonders that have been lost forever. 10. Chacaltaya Glacier, Bolivia. Glaciers all over the world have shrunk rapidly in recent years, with several disappearing completely. In South America, climate change, specifically increased temperatures, steadily increasing humidity, and changes in rainfall patterns, are being blamed for the extremely rapid demise of the Andean glaciers. In the tropical Andes region, the average annual temperatures have been steadily rising at a rate of 0.33 deg C, 0.6 deg F, every 10 years since the 1990s. The accompanying high humidity levels also significantly contribute to the reduction of the Andean glaciers by causing the ice to melt instead of being turned into vapor via a process scientists call sublimation. The Chacaltaya Glacier, located about 20 kilometers, 12 miles, to the northeast of La Paz, managed to lose over 60% of its mass from the 1940s to the 1980s, and over 90% at the turn of the century. At that point, scientists predicted that the Chacaltaya Glacier could very well disappear completely by 2015. However, rapid temperature increases due to global warming hastened the process, and the glacier vanished in 2009, leaving the slopes once overwhelmed with skiers dry and empty. 9. Azure Window, Malta. In Malta, the Azure Window was carved into Gozo Island's limestone cliffs over hundreds of years. It withstood thousands of storms during its existence, but on March 8, 2017, it was pummeled into the sea forever during the worst storm of the season. Before its collapse, the instantly recognizable site in Dwedra Bay was one of Malta's most popular tourist spots. In fact, most of us saw it during the Game of Thrones series. 8. Hillary Step on Mount Everest, Nepal. Since the day during 2017 when climbers announced that the Hillary Step vanished, the status of the rocky outcrop, christened after Everest's famous summiteer Sir Edmund Hillary, has been a source of considerable controversy. Edmund Hillary and the Sherpa Tenzing Norgay successfully reached the summit after taking the steep step to the top, becoming the first climbers in our known history to reach the summit in 1953. After that first prolific climb, all climbers attempting to summit by way of the southern route have been using ropes to best the fearsome challenge before they reach the top, where they have to swing one leg over the saddle to get to the other side. 7. Slims River, Canada. In the early summer of 2017, an entire river in the Yukon Territory of Canada vanished within a mere 4 days. The trigger to the event was the rapid retreat of the enormous Kaskawalsh Glacier, which redirected the meltwater from the Slims River toward another river. According to scientists, the event marked the first incidence of river piracy in contemporary times. These ships are also effectively reducing the size of Kluane Lake, the Yukon's largest lake. The Slims River's demise has had an immediate and profound influence on the environment, dispersing fish stocks, completely changing the composition of neighboring lakes, and causing a rash of novel dust storms to hit the province. Many other glacial-fed rivers in the area, such as those that provide water and hydroelectric power to higher populated areas, may also be impacted. Geologists describe it as a previously unseen side effect of global warming. This could also come to occur at other glacial-fed rivers throughout the world, placing river-dependent communities and environments at grave risk moving forward. 6. Sequoia Tunnel Tree, California. The glorious Pioneer Cabin Tunnel Tree in Calaveras Big Tree State Park in California was one of several colossal trees cut in the 1800s to boost California's tourist industry. By the time it toppled over in 2017, it was California's last giant sequoia, featuring a drive-through arched doorway in its trunk. Although the true age of the Pioneer Cabin Tree is unknown, several sequoia trees within the area are well over 1,000 years old. And even older trees, dating back more than 3,000 years, have been discovered in nearby Yosemite National Park. Only a few sequoias were tunneled through to serve the tourism purpose, the most famous of which was Yosemite's Wawona tree, estimated to have been around 2,100 years old when a storm brought it down in 1969. Today, the only lingering sequoia tree tunnels that can be found are either made up of stacked logs or trees that have long since died. 5. God's Finger, Spain. The symbol of Gran Canaria, El Dedo de Dios, also known as God's Finger, used to be a 98-foot-tall rock formation to the north of Gran Canaria, an island in the chain that makes up the Canary Islands. The rock's distinct shape has inspired numerous artists over the years, and many believe that the famous writer Domingo Dorst was the first to pen its name. In November 2005, Tropical Storm Delta created havoc all along the coastline, and the ensuing immense waves finally toppled the top part of the 300,000-year-old rock feature. After God's Finger was destroyed, a team of experts investigated the possibility of rebuilding the famous landmark. However, the majority advised against its restoration and outlined a plan to conserve what remained of the iconic rock. Today, what remains of the rocky feature is known as Roque Partido. Although the landscape has lost a little bit of its magic, it is still one of the most beautiful landscapes in the world. 4. Old Man of the Mountain, New Hampshire. The legendary granite rock face of New Hampshire's Old Man of the Mountain collapsed in 2003. The 6,530 metric ton angular rocky outcrop stood nearly 4 to 5 feet tall and 30 feet wide on a mountainside in a climate prone to freeze-thaw corrosion. As a result, it was widely anticipated that the state emblem, also known as the Great Stone Face, would eventually collapse. Several previous efforts to preserve the natural wonder had been made beginning from the early 1900s. However, the news of the old man's demise still surprised many geologists. 3. The Aral Sea, Central Asia. The Aral Sea used to be among the 5 largest landlocked stretches of water in the world. Today, its shallow remains can be found in Central Asia's climatically hostile geographical area, not far from the Caspian Sea. The disappearance of the Aral Sea is of keen importance and rising concern to researchers due to the enormous reduction in its surface area, which began in the second half of the 20th century and has continued to this day. The redirection of the Amudarya and Sidoria river systems for irrigation purposes, when the area was under Soviet control, was pretty much exclusively responsible for this change, as both were primary contributors to inflowing water to the Aral Sea. 2. Valley of Geysers, Russia. The Valley of Geysers in Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula used to be the world's second largest concentration of natural geysers, the first being Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming. About 90 geysers could be found in the 6 km long, 3.7-mile basin. Tragically, the Valley of Geysers was struck by a massive landslide in 2007. A mudslide containing snow, water, stones, and shards of rock swept down at 20-25 miles per hour, engulfing everything in its wake. The mass flooded the river and produced a dam, consuming the Valley of Geysers' most spectacular features: boiling springs, thermal fields, and waterfalls. 1. Tenor Tree, Niger. For hundreds of generations, a single acacia tree thrived amid the sands of Africa's Sahara Desert. The lonely tree provided shade for years for all its weary visitors, but it also offered so much more. It functioned not only as a landmark along a lengthy trade route through the desolate countryside, but also as a testament to life's tenacity, as it was the only tree that could be found for 250 miles. In the 1930s, European military campaigners who came across the tree of the wilderness dubbed it a l'arbre du tenor, the tree of tenor, and its placement on cartographers' charts highlighted the tree's exceptional peculiarity as the world's most secluded tree. Thank you for watching. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go.